Hey guys, there's a lot of buzz about this Rico Verhoeven. I mean, kickboxing champion. He's now become one of the hottest free agents in combat sports. And this is quite rare, guys, because this doesn't really happen all too often. He's a newcomer to boxing. He walked into Egypt, into Cairo, the backdrop, the pyramids of Giza. He took on the heavyweight boxing champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk, and most boxing pundits and people around the world thought he was going to get embarrassed. But to the contrary, he was he was unbelievable. He may have changed his entire career in one night, and he changed a lot of the skeptics. Trust me, guys, this is a real story here, guys. I'm not even talking about, I mean, the controversy regarding the stoppage is one thing, but the real story now comes down to is what happens next, because suddenly you've got Francis Ngannou, Netflix, MVP, MMA, boxing promoters, kickboxing organizations. Everybody's calling Rico Verhoeven. He's the hottest athlete right now in the professional sport of boxing, guys. And look, there's a whole hidden business angle when it comes to this whole thing that a lot of people are not even covering and a lot of people are not even talking about, but it's real. We're going to get to it, guys. I just want to kind of share some of the context, some of the background for you guys. But welcome back. Welcome to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. And look, Rico Verhoeven became an overnight sensation. Everybody's talking about Rico now. He's starting to become a household name. And it is becoming one of the biggest stories right now. I'm not just even talking about boxing. I'm talking about in combat sports. It was absolutely insane, guys. There was a lot of controversy surrounding the stoppage. You've got, on one side, you've got Oleksandr Usyk, probably one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of this generation, unified heavyweight champion of the world. Very, very classy guy. He's got elite movement. His in-ring, his boxing IQ is absolutely elite. Definitely next level. And then you've got Rico Verhoeven, who's known as a kickboxing legend, right? And he went in there. A lot of people thought he was going to get upset and embarrassed, but to the contrary, he shocked a lot of people. And he created a lot of difficulties for Oleksandr Usyk. In fact, he created a lot of problems for him. And that changes the whole perception overnight, because there's a lot of people now starting to think that Rico Verhoeven could have a very, very serious career in boxing. And I'm talking about at an elite level, guys. So his market value has just exploded. It's went through the roof. And like I said, not many people come from outside and do that kind of damage in one night or leave that kind of a perception on people. Rico's coach, Peter Fury, actually revealed something that made this entire story even crazier than it is. So according to Fury, he was on the same plane as the referee. And after the fight, even the referee admitted that he didn't hear the bell before stopping the fight. He didn't hear the bell. Like, just think about how wild that is. And I mean, the legendary Peter Fury said, look, I mean, I think you made a mistake. He told the referee, I think you made a mistake. And Peter Fury said, the referee told him, I didn't hear the bell. That's pouring gasoline like on top of the fire. Now, I guess that appeal does make a lot of sense, because now Rico Verhoeven is officially planning to appeal the stoppage. And no, I don't know if it's actually going to change anything. I mean, will it change the result? I don't know. I don't think so. But what it is going to do is going to create a lot more discussion, okay? There's going to be a lot of people wanting a rematch potentially for, some kind of redemption, hopefully, for Rico Verhoeven. But, I mean, at this point, I don't even know how much of that matters anymore, because, I mean, the controversy in itself has created a lot of momentum. So, I mean, and momentum for both, because you have to understand, Oleksandr Usyk is an extremely classy guy. He's got a couple of people in mind that he wants to fight next, but he's a warrior. He's not going to back down from a fight or a second fight against Rico. If it does come down to Oleksandr Usyk having to fight Rico Verhoeven again, he'll do it. He'll gladly do it. And there is a strong chance that he might get that rematch. But the question is, does boxing move forward with, say, WBC mandatory Agit Kabayel against Oleksandr Usyk instead? Or does Rico pivot and does he step in and take on Oleksandr Usyk? So this is where a lot of people are starting to kind of put theories into motion, and there's a lot of discussions happening behind the scene, because don't forget, Francis Ngannou's there. Here's a name that suddenly comes back into the conversation, and again and again. And remember, before the Usyk fight even materialized, there were already discussions about Francis Ngannou potentially fighting Rico Verhoeven. Ngannou, Verhoeven. Now, I mean, after Rico exceeded expectations against Usyk, I don't even know if that suddenly feels as massive anymore, because I mean, not just massive for hardcore fans, but I'm talking about for the mainstream fans, because now if I'm Rico, I'm like, I want that belt, man. I want that belt, and I want the recognition, you know? And so, I mean, when you factor in Netflix and all the, you know, all the news that's going viral right now about all this, I mean, that in itself is creating so much momentum that a lot of executives around the world are starting to buy into this. And I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, but what we do know is we're going to see Rico Verhoeven again. And everyone's buying into this spectacle. I mean, Rico Verhoeven just proved that he can create that kind of spectacle, you know, outside of the world of kickboxing. Similarly to how he was in kickboxing, he's trying to reciprocate that at that level when it comes to boxing. And I think that's absolutely incredible. What a genius. I mean, he came in there and he proved to the world that he actually has more leverage than he's ever had, even while dominating Glory. Imagine he loses his first fight in boxing, but he has more leverage than any other boxer, promoter right now in the world of boxing. I mean, he's dominated kickboxing for years. That's without question. A lot of people respected him, but a lot of people didn't fully understand him. And he wasn't as such a household name. I mean, he went toe-to-toe with Oleksandr Usyk on probably one of the biggest crossover platforms imaginable. And all thanks to the big folks, the promoters, the broadcasters, everyone behind, and all the fans in combat sports, including MMA, boxing, everybody, because now everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows who he is, right? And every promoter is just licking their chops thinking, what do I got to do to sign this guy, right? And that's why the UFC angle becomes really fascinating, because when I talked about business, yes, I'm going to talk about UFC in just a second, but apparently Derek Lewis was once scheduled to fight Rico Verhoeven. And as you know, the Black Beast is set to fight Josh Hockett at the UFC White House card. But according to Lewis, Rico turned that fight down. I mean, the UFC wasn't even really buying into it. I don't think they really liked the fact Rico Verhoeven versus Derek Lewis. It wasn't really marketable enough for them, potentially. And then a lot of people are like, oh, Rico's ducking. Well, it's a good thing he didn't, because, I mean, you know, he at that point, he departed Glory and he was trying to find his way, and now look at Rico Verhoeven, look at his career now. And you also have to look, I mean, he was trying to get into the world of MMA, but I mean, UFC contracts are a lot different now. And I mean, the UFC, if he did go to the UFC, they would almost certainly want Rico locked into a very, very long-term deal. But now, I think they're really hungry to sign him, because he is arguably probably one of the hottest heavyweight free agents right now in the world of combat sports. And anyone signing him would make perfect business sense on their portfolio. So when you think about MVP MMA, with Jake Paul, Netflix, Nikisa Bidarian, I mean, there could be a gigantic money fight between Francis Ngannou and Rico Verhoeven. And I'm talking about gigantic money involved, right? Ngannou versus Rico is easier to make than Rico versus Derek Lewis because there's a lot more marketability, a lot more hype factor that's involved when you bring in Francis Ngannou into the equation. I mean, Ngannou's already a crossover attraction. Rico stock has just, skyrocketed through the roof. So the fight in itself, it makes perfect business sense to me because it sells itself, right? Two big monster heavyweights fighting, elite kickboxing pedigree. Wow, massive power, global audience appeal, and Rico Verhoeven can use his legs. I mean, guys, we're not just talking about a fight now, we're talking about an event. We're talking about something absolutely monstrous, right? And the timing is just perfect, right? Right now, Rico holds all the cards. Now, when you look at Francis Ngannou, he just came off an unbelievable win, MVP MMA, and I'm pretty sure Jake Paul is going to try to figure out everything he can to sign Rico Verhoeven. I'm pretty sure they've even already reached out to him to set up a time for them to meet to discuss if they haven't already met already. But just imagine that could be one thing. And the UFC with Dana White and Zuffa Boxing, they might also be interested in signing him. And maybe not even to Zuffa, maybe they want Rico Verhoeven to fight in the UFC, to fight as a UFC fighter in MMA. And can you imagine Rico Verhoeven versus Alex Pereira? Like wow. I mean, the storylines are limitless. It's absolutely crazy. But look, kickboxers are boxing champions. They are. They know the art of boxing, but they also know the art of using their legs, and they're very, very dangerous. I mean, it's the same level of training, the same kind of elements that you need to put into your training day in, day out. I mean, but now with the advent of all these crossover events that are happening and the way the industry is changing, this could actually set up for a really, really nice payday for Rico Verhoeven. Because, I mean, all you have to do is just watch his performance against Oleksandr Usyk, one of the greatest heavyweight fighters of all time. That in itself will tell you that he could sell out any crowd, any arena in his next fight, 100%. And even at the highest levels, guys. I'm almost even thinking a super fight already because he's that big. He is. And honestly, the fight that he had against Usyk did expose a couple things. It really did. Because a lot of people unfortunately underestimated the power that Rico Verhoeven possesses, and quite badly for that matter. And a lot of people thought it was going to be a mismatch. A lot of people wrote him off. A lot of boxing insiders are like, this is not even going to go past the third, fourth round. And if anything, Usyk is just going to toy with them for a little bit and then just unleash the hell of fury on him. But no, he exhibited such unbelievable talent and power. I mean, technically, he lost the fight on points, but he really caught people's attention. This is a guy who's got knockout power, and he could knock you out. And so I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe even the likes of Anthony Joshua, he might be interested in that fight. I mean, there's so many story angles. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And now, everybody wants to know, does Oleksandr Usyk give Rico Verhoeven a rematch? Does boxing politics move Rico aside and say, hold on, you want a rematch? We get it, but we've got another guy by the name of Agi Kabayel. And then somebody else says, wait a minute, we got Francis Ngannou. And then wait a minute, hold on, we've got other plans and other ideas. Dana White, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You've got all these different promoters, all these different ideas. You got Saudi, Turkey Al Sheikh. I mean, it goes on and on and on. If you're Rico, what the hell do you do? I mean, you got Peter Fury. Peter Fury's a legend, guys. Everybody knows his history. But it's going to be really interesting to see what Rico does. I truly feel that Rico As much as I like Oleksandr Usyk, and this is not about, you know, showing biasness, liking a particular fighter, but I truly admire both of these fighters. I think they did an absolutely heck of a job, and not only did they prove themselves to one another, but they certainly proved to the world that these guys are some of the elite fighters of the world. But Rico Verhoeven in particular really exhibited skill sets that I never truly felt he had. I mean, well, maybe that came off wrong. It's not that I didn't feel he had them. I just didn't know enough about him to know that he had the capability of going toe to toe for as long as he did, and not even getting gassed out against one of the best fighters in the world. So he proved to me that his name should be in future discussions when it comes to fighting elite heavyweight fighters. He shouldn't have to rethink what it is that he wants to do in life now, or rethink his career. Does he want to switch now, go into MMA? Does he want to go into kickboxing? Does he want to take some time off, reevaluate things? I mean, taking time off may not necessarily be a bad idea, but in Rico's case, I think he should continue on with boxing, and I think he should fight. I mean, I'd like to see a rematch between him and Usyk, but I want to see Rico Verhoeven win a title. I want to see him. I mean, who knows? Maybe Daniel Dubois. He just won the WBO title. Maybe, excuse me, maybe you put him up against a guy like Anthony Joshua. Maybe you get him to fight. I mean, maybe get him to fight Francis Ngannou. I mean, that could be a mega fight, guys, in the making. I mean, can you imagine how much money would be poured into that fight? Francis Ngannou's a beast. He's a monster. He showed it. If you guys watch MVP MMA, you saw Francis's power, but I would be very, very curious to see that fight. I think that would be absolutely incredible. Anyways, guys, I talked a lot. I mean, right now, I think we're sitting pretty. I think the promoters have the headache in trying to determine what's going to happen next when it comes to Rico Verhoeven. But I'm pretty sure Rico's got a say in everything. I mean, look, don't forget, guys, he has launched an appeal. We don't know what the when that appeal is going to happen. We don't know what the outcome is going to be able to represent in terms of whether that's going to clarify anything for Rico. I mean, I think he still gets the loss in this one. At the end of the day, it's the referee's call. Hopefully, they could try to improve that moving forward. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if he makes a big signing real soon with a major fight promoter. I'm not even going to say boxing promoter, because these days boxing promoters are fight promoters because they manage both MMA and boxers. So anyways, guys, I had a great time chatting with you guys. Don't forget to smash a like and subscribe, and hit the notifications so you guys never miss a beat. There's many ways to support our channel. I have a great video, guys, for you tomorrow. I can't wait to share it with you. In the meantime, check out these couple videos. That should tie you down. I've also got a couple shorts out there, and that should be enough to get you all pumped up and excited for tomorrow's video. The pleasure was all mine. Have a great night, guys.